we hope that it will be different this time, right? We hope moving forward. And it's also at the same time important to educate people who are newer to the conversation that you have to keep the attention on, you have to keep the pressure on, sometimes for years, not just for weeks. And then that takes endurance. And for those that are in the trenches on the ground, for those that work so hard, in order for there to be a hashtag Run with Ahmad, people really had to work hard on the ground in the trenches, his friends and family, before that began to have national attention, right? And so to know that there are people laboring and to try to find the endurance to stick with them through the years that it usually takes to get justice, or a form of justice.
Does this feel different to you than 5 years ago or any of the other social justice movements that you've been involved in? Does this feel different?
I think it feels different. For sure, right? You know, we're painting Black Lives Matter in the streets, etc. But at the same time, some of the same people that might be involved in painting those letters in some of those streets, if you actually have a conversation with them about, well, this is what Black Lives Matter actually is, and this is what their demands actually are, that isn't always received. It isn't always received by those who, and so there's a concern, I guess, on my part, of people kind of co-opting, colonizing the movement itself, and removing it the way that we see roads that are renamed Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard in every city, and yet did that bring justice to those neighborhoods? And so that we need to be more than words. We need to be deeds as well as words. And those who are waking up and joining the movement, particularly white folks like myself, they need to understand that we serve at the direction of the directly impacted. We don't decide what justice will look like. We don't decide what needs to be demanded. Those who have been suffering, who have been oppressed, they get to determine the time. They should get to determine the timeline and the ends and the means of what they need, and we need to follow their lead and not direct things.